and she brought some pictures and she'd like to tell her a story. It would be welcome. Mary, you have the floor.
You have the floor.
This is Rudy Moshier.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure. Take my seat.
Thank you.
Take my seat.
Yes.
Take my seat.
Go
Take
ahead.
my seat. Take my seat.
Have the head of the table. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mary. Mary, you can talk to them. This is very informative,
My English is not good,
but it's very
but
good looking.
maybe
That one.
I have the.
You can
the
speak to
picture.
them.
Sure.
Excuse me. Mhm.
Oh, she wants to speak
She-
Spanish?
No,
Oh, 'cause I can't-
I prefer in
can't translate.
Spanish. If
Did you
somebody
put it? 'Cause I can't
help
translate.
me. I
I'll
prefer.
translate for her.
Thank you a lot.
Okay,
That's fine.
tengo la foto, tengo
I
la,
have the photographs
y las horas de.
and the hours
Explosiones
of
desde,
the blasts
desde 1998
from 1998 to the present.
día, mes, año.
With the hour, the day, the month, and the year.
Yo vivo en la estate de Hialeah Garden.
I come, ¿cómo?
Hialeah Gardens.
I live in Hialeah Gardens.
Este,
¿Qué dirección es esa? Sí, sí puedo decirle qué exactamente dirección es esa. ¿Por la 138? ¿Renové o?
de la 99 y la 102.
I live by 99th and 102nd.
9901 Northwest.
135th.
Thank you very much.
Ok, ya he hecho la piscina por 3 veces.
I've done my pool 3 times.
Ahora la acabo de reparar, ya han venido 3
I've
compañías.
now finished repairing it and I've had 3 companies.
Tengo las fotos aquí de ahora.
I have the current photos
De hoy ya le falta como 6 pulgadas.
and it's missing around 6 inches.
Es increíble,
It's
increíble.
incredible.
Increíble. Mis vecinos tienen las casas rajadas
My neighbors have their homes cracked
y las piscinas también.
and their pools as well.
¿Usted quiere ver las fotos?
Would you like to see the photos?
This in audio, please.
Pardon?
Can you do it with her?
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Because
Porque me pasa lo raro. Le digo las fases, si quiera. Y dígalo que son cada una de ellas. Sí, sí, son bastante fotos. No, ¿de qué tiempo son las fotos esas?
Estas son de ahora.
De ahora.
Hace una semana.
Ya.
I have photos from a week ago.
there she has the next.
They're current.
En la cabaña de la piscina le hice
The
el
pool cabana,
piso ahora
I had to repair the floor
y al baño mío también. el
and
este
my
que
bathroom
está-
as well.
que está en el
Just trying
segundo
various-
piso.
That's in the second floor of the home.
Usted tiene todos los planes desde 1998, ¿no?
Desde el 98 están aquí. Bueno, yo trabajaba cuando eso, pero cuando estaba en la casa podía coger todo, ¿ves? La hora, el día, la dimensión que tenía.
I was able to keep the hour, the day, and the extent of the damage.
Fucking test record of 27 years.
Mhm.
Entonces aquí está cuando mi esposo falleció. Pero
This is when my husband passed away.
cuando él estaba vivo, él
When he was alive, he kept all these documents, all these records.
llevamos sismógrafos y todo para cuando.
¿Y qué dijeron ellos?
No, el día que el sismógrafo fue,
The-
no hubo ni una explosión.
We brought
Dios, qué casualidad.
seismographers.
De casualidad.
Fue el año, esto es del 97.
From 1997.
Aquí están todos los abogados que se pagaron.
We have here all the lawyers that have been paid.
Acá hay fotos del 22.
Photographs from 2022,
Y ahí del 13, que es cuando se refiere
2013, which was when we built our pool.
trabajadores ahí. Todo.
También se dañó, ¿no? O sea, tuvo daño completo, se
Entonces,
rajó, se rajó.
todo el-
Wow.
The
Ah,
pool
reparado la
cracked
piscina.
along the center of the pool.
You see the picture?
Ya se ha hecho 3 veces.
And we've
3
already
times.
did the pool 3 times.
Hay más también.
There's
Tengo
some more on the
toda,
floors.
toda la terraza. La terraza esta mide 75 pies.
Raza measures 75 feet.
75.
And
Wow.
she's showing the tiles cracked,
Todo el deck está.
the pool deck.
Y esta casa fue construida por nosotros, tipo,
This house was built by us
tipo español.
in
O
a
sea,
Spanish style.
¿Lo sintió hoy día? ¿Hoy día lo sintió?
Perdón,
¿Hoy día
¿Qué
sintió la
sintió hoy
explosión?
las explosiones hoy?
Se lo siente.
Hoy día.
hoy hubo una, mis hijas viven cerca, hoy hubo
Did
una,
you experience a blast today? My daughters felt a blast
hoy
today
hubo una a las 10:26
Está correcto.
at
AM.
10:26 in the morning,
Exactamente correcto.
Fue enorme.
Sí, fue.
which was
A mí me han roto
large.
televisores, búscaros, cuadros, tengo que estar alineando los
She has
cuadros.
to be aligning.
Entonces
the frame.
llamé a mi hija que está enferma, está ahora en la casa, no está trabajando, y dice, sí,
Ay.
demasiado. El perro se volvió loco ladrando cuando...
The dog went crazy barking.
Eso es como si estuviéramos en México.
It's as if we were in Mexico.
Ya lo único que me hace, que necesito es llamar a los canales de
The
televisión.
only thing that is left for me to do is to call the television stations.
Yo lo haría, señora, porque te dan derecho. Usted se siente
No,
que ha
no,
pasado
es
algo.
que yo no puedo, tengo
Y los
esa-
televisores lo saben, los medios están, ¿cómo se llama? Saben lo que está pasando.
¿Has contactado a los políticos de su área?
¿Eh?
¿Has contactado con los
Have you
políticos de su
contacted
área?
the
He
politicians
visto
of your area?
vi todo.
Yes,
No,
except Levine Cava,
el
I've
condado.
contacted all of them.
Sé con everybody,
I've spoken to all of them,
Ok.
los concejales,
the councilmen.
¿Qué le han dicho?
Bueno, tienes aquí, councilman de Miami Lakes, tienes representante de
Sánchez.
estatal.
me dicen que eso es un problema de, aquí yo tenía anotado. Tallahassee también.
Tallahassee have contacted.
No, ya no hay lugar donde yo no haya llamado. Solo me falta ir en persona.
The only thing that I need to do is to go in person.
Esa terraza la tengo toda con cintas amarillas. Para que la
I have the
gente-
terraza with yellow ribbons.
Caution.
I can't communicate like that.
Yo sé que ustedes no tienen que ver con esto, pero si no
No.
pueden.
I know that,
Si pueden llevarse, los voy a agradecer.
I know that you are not responsible for this, but if you can move it on, move it forward, I will be very grateful.
Yo me he gastado aquí miles y miles y miles.
I have spent thousands.
¿Qué total más o menos usted estima? How much do you estimate? Más o menos.
¿Cómo dice?
¿Cuánto
¿Qué
usted
cantidad
estima?
de-
En total, que usted estima que usted ha gastado.
Mira,
Aproximado.
bueno, cada vez que se hace la piscina no baja de $12,000.
Every time that I've done the pool,
Porque es una
is no less than
piscina.
$12,000 because it's a big pool.
Esta es 37 por
It's 37 feet by
40.
40.
O sea que es una
Sí, la
una
larga,
oficina
y la larga.
grande.
Sí, sí.
¿Usted reporta cuando siente las explosiones, usted los reporta o es su primera vez viniendo a una reunión como esta para...
Así como aquí, una reunión como esta es mi primera vez.
Report
Sí.
these incidents, or is this the first time you
He
come to a
puesto
meeting?
algunas
This is the first time that I come to a meeting like this.
citas por RIM. En RIM también
en la aplicación?
los vecinos de aquí de Miami Lakes
Ujú.
escriben,
Sí,
sintieron la explosión,
Pero
explosión.
nunca aportó la queja oficial en el estado.
¿Eh?
Have you ever filed an official
La
complaint
queja oficial en el estado. Lo ha puesto.
with the state? No, I have
Ahí
not.
donde cuenta.
Mi esposo puso abogados y todo, y eso
My
iba.
husband hired attorneys.
Gracias.
Esa es una página donde personas están poniendo sus complaints en internet
That's a page where people are,
Sí,
y esa es la
Filing
cantidad
complaints
de
on the
complaints
internet.
que están metiendo. Ah,
antes de que usted se vaya hoy, yo le voy a pasar los datos para que
before you
usted
leave
pueda
today,
meterse en
I
la
will
página
give you
y
the
lo pueda
information.
reportar.
So
that you can
Sí,
report it.
la pues-
And they will be able
here's
to help.
the Miami Lakes one.
Nosotros siempre estamos solicitando ayuda de personas como usted que tienen...
We're always requesting help from people like you in the community.
No siempre conseguimos a personas, si usted no
We
le
don't
molestia,
always get people to
yo
come
puedo
out,
ir allá y tomar fotos y videos y lo
Vamos a
podemos
compartir.
but we can go out and take photos and video.
Ok, yo coordino con usted.
bienvenida.
Gracias, Mari, por venir y
Thank you.
todo su
Mari,
testimonio.
for coming.
No.
Thank you.
Sí, si hubieran tantas personas así como usted, yo creo que no tuviéramos el problema este.
If we had more people like you, we wouldn't have a problem like we do.
Esa casa nosotros compramos
We bought that home,
el terreno, que eso era maravilloso.
we bought the land,
Sí.
a lot.
Se compró como en el 80 y algo.
which purchased in the 1980s,
Demoramos 2 meses en hacer la casa.
and we took 2 months to build the house.
Es una grande, pero bueno, esas son mini fincas.
Sí.
It's a big house,
Casa grande. Pero la verdad que y no quisiera venderla.
and in truth, I wouldn't like to sell it.
Eso lo hizo mi esposo con mucho amor.
My husband built it with great love,
Mira, ven aquí hasta las tuberías.
and here in this photo, you can see even the
Tuberías
pipes.
de la-
¿Se han rajado? ¿Se han rajado también o no? ¿Han tenido problemas?
That's correct.
Mira, ahora sí, ahora con estas dos, y todavía dicen que tiene liqueo. Cada
And
vez que viene la compañía.
they claim that the pipes are leaking. Every time a company comes, they find other damages.
Mira, aquí están todos los abogados que mi esposo.
This is a list of all the attorneys that we've retained through the years.
¿Y qué le han dicho ellos? ¿Qué le han dicho esos abogados?
No, ya después que mi esposo falleció, ya yo no he movido.
After my husband died, I haven't done anything with the attorney.
Ya no he movido más nada.
I haven't done anything else,
Ya no sé lo que hacer.
and I know not what to do.
Do we have the link together?
Yeah, I was gonna jot it down for her.
I'm gonna put it in the, on the, down here in the future. I just realized,
Okay.
yeah, I just realized if I put it down here. yeah,
So you leave that documentation with the board?
Sure. ¿Y
Mira,
desire?
aquí
¿Usted tiene
estamos.
copia de su
Where would it
foto?
be?
Those are originals.
30
Yeah.
datos.
Pero tiene Geosonics fue a su casa.
Mm.
Geosonics fue a su casa.
Geosonics.
Esa
Esa
compañía.
She
compañía.
did.
La compañía, sí, sí.
Esta compañía sí, por supuesto.
Ellos pusieron sismos, los
Porque hay una compañía que está retenida retenido por los mineros.
That's the same company that the mining company, the blasting company, hires.
Ya las reparaciones cuestan más de lo que nos costó la oficina por decir.
At this point, the repairs are costlier than what the
Mira,
pool originally cost us.
esto era cuando la Rinker, ya parece que cambió de.
Sí, años, eso.
No, 97.
Sí. Pinker era uno que estaba ahí.
Yo les estoy tan agradecida, pero tan agradecida. Hayamos ido por lo menos.
La compañía de Geosonics, ¿para qué usted utilizó a ellos?
What was,
Geosonics, el reporte que enseñaste ahí.
She had attorneys, she had claims. It's probably all part of it.
El Geosonic,
That
you
is
know,
Boston.
Geosonics, estaba enseñando también. ¿Para qué usaste esta gente?
Ese fue mi esposo quien hizo toda esa gestión. Esto fue en el 2003.
¿Me permite leerlo?
Sí, como no, que le encanta los sobres, inclusive.
We're gonna move forward with the meeting, Miguel, if that's okay with you.
yeah, where about you?
Rudy?
Yeah, I just wanna be comfortable and
Okay.
finish up.
Maybe they would sit.
¿Cómo se llama? Copia de todo esto, pues son los originales.
Notification.
Todo está raro.
Down 6
Same way.
inches.
If you want,
We don't even feel it anymore.
it was something, I was, I don't have fun, so if it was, we keep custody of the, of our stuff.
Those
But
are
when you get-
original documents.
Those are original, Rudy. And it's all like it's in place, you know.
No, pero puedo sacar.
Por favor, sí.
Yeah, si
eso
puedes
sería-
ver copia,
And I think maybe you should reimburse her because these are major.
Con gusto.
Sí, si usted puede hacer copia, te lo agradecería. ¿No? Y no dice cuánto sale, ¿ok? No, en serio, no dice cuánto sale. Hay una copia en la casa, ¿ok? Yo estoy igual, ¿ok? Mira, no sé, pasa. No se preocupe.
Yes.
I don't have every single second.
Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias a ustedes.
Se hace poco, sí. Como digo, si hubieran más personas así como usted, creo que no tuviéramos problemas.
Hacerlo. Ella me haría ganas, pero esa gente no.
Esta es el mapa de Ciudad Valle, del State District. ¿Por dónde están?
Next item is adoption of minutes.
No, that's more public comment.
You have public comment and you have online. Final.
And I have online too. Yeah, Steven's right there, and I have public comment. I want to do it.
Well, I don't know who's.
Yo soy arquitecto, de hecho,
Stephen, did you say, count?
Los apartamentos.
And there's also a number which I don't. We're gonna recognize Stephen for public comment.
Está,
Era en 130.
Councilmember Hertzberg.
135,
está la casa de Fidel Acosta.
Hey, Steven.
atrás de Fina.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
You're, have the audience.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think it might be Miss Reynolds on the other line, so just make sure to let anybody else who wants to speak online. Just want to chime in. I won't stay online here, but I'll be watching you guys. Obviously, I was looking at your agenda. It seems as though session's wrapping up, so the bill is gone nowhere. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation. So we'll go on to our next steps. You all know I have a plan. It's just a matter of timing and getting things done the right way. I don't want to rush into any matters. So happy to speak to you guys individually later about it if you have any questions. But just want to give you that update. In days, we did speak about it. I see Councilman Sanchez is there as well. We definitely spoke about it in our meetings. The councilman even had a brief meeting as well. I'm sure he might talk to you guys about it, but you know, if we've seen the same roadblocks as before, unfortunately, and it's just the way it's working out right now. So I know we're disappointed about it. I'm sure I know the rep has done everything he can. I know he's done everything he can based off the conversations we've had. It's just not going through again. So we're here. I'll be listening, and let's try to figure out the best thing to go forward and how you guys can help us with that. All right.
Excellent.
Excellent. No, perfect.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilman.
Very good, thank you.
Hope
Thank you for the
Reynolds
work,
will be
guys.
online.
I also like to speak. She's messaged.
Oh.
Hope, correct?
She's muted.
Hope, can you unmute?
She can. She's been accepted into the chat.
Hope, can you unmute?
I can't unmute.
I know she has to do it.
That's amazing.
No, it's just this good.
I don't know.
Is that 608 number? Oh, it's a 608 number. Yeah. Yeah.
Should we, continue and then come back?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Oh, okay. It was very difficult to try to unmute, but nevertheless, though, I want you to realize that today we walked our entire neighborhood, reminding property owners about the payment of the assessment for the homeowners association, and it was incredible how many driveways are cracked and how many sidewalks seem to be having issues. And every time a property owner, hardly anyone was at home, but every time they came out, they actually said, "So Hope, what is happening with blasting?" So I had no choice but to say nothing.
You will change your words shortly.
Correct. Is that done? Is that it? Oh,
Yes, I just wanted you to know that.
okay, thank you, Hope. Okay, go back to public comments.
Anybody else?
Anybody else on public comment want to speak or say?
Good evening, everybody.
Thank you,
Good to see you all again. Walk for day, Dave. Try to lobby a little bit if the volume can be put down to
I
things.
just muted.
The meeting that he's talking about on Wednesday night, after all of the events had already occurred, I was walking around around the Capitol building, and I happened to have been to the Speaker of the House because the bill that was introduced was shot down by the Speaker.
Correct.
Before it even made it to committee. The second that I introduced myself, who I was, where I was from, I told him I wanted to speak with him for a moment about blasting. His knee-jerk reaction was to put his hand up and say, "We're not gonna do anything about blasting. Blasting is not gonna stop." And I expressed to him, I understand that 92% of the United States supply of limestone comes from Florida. And the bill that was introduced to you is not to stop blasting, but it's to get monetary relief for our residents to be able to repair their homes. His response was to get Representative Fabrizio to get in touch with him again, to take next steps. From also from Representative Fabrizio, it didn't go anywhere. We are preparing to take other routes, but we're doing it in a way that it does not interfere with the other priorities that we have from Tallahassee, like appropriations. We do have appropriations coming down the pipeline once the budget is approved, if it is approved. And they are actually extending the session now because the House and the Senate are coming to an agreement as to all the budgets.
I just heard that they're gonna have another week and we don't have a budget.
We don't have a budget,
That's
but there are appropriations coming down the pipeline,
correct.
so we don't want to ruffle it to the point that we lose those appropriations.
That's right.
But our legal team is working already on something that was put on the back burner to give HB 303 a chance. But now it's not, those wheels are starting to gear up again.
Correct.
But like I said before, it's not from today to tomorrow, no way voy para mañana. It's coming. Just, we need to get those appropriations. Because the only focus, even though it is a big focus, blasting, it is not the only focus. We also have other improvements that we need to do in the town for drainage, for traffic resolutions and things like that.
What's the priority of blasting?
It's
versus other
number
ones?
one on Tom's board. It is literally number one.
It's always been.
I wish I would have taken a picture, but on number one on his board. out of
And is
everything.
it always for like financial gain?
It isn't. It's just this time around, it is the first bill that was backed by the miners.
Because it's only reason the financial gain because house prices still go up.
That's
So, like,
not the,
but, like,
the
it makes sense.
financial resolution was to process claims through through Tallahassee. So let's say you have damages to your home, you would put in a claim and receive monetary compensation to repair the damages to your home. That was the provision.
And I guess you don't see that as a good goal because if we're not trying for mining explosions to stop.
Right.
mining is important, and they're actually doing a great job. Like from data that I found, it was hard to prove that there was no complaints when there were higher impacts.
Right,
So that means that we're not just complaining.
right,
People are not putting their number down. Like this lady just came in, and I hope she
Right.
gets the link for the website,
right.
because that's the main priority, I think, in my head.
Yeah.
Tallahassee, everybody is seeing the numbers, and the numbers is telling them the opposite.
Right,
The numbers telling them that the mining company is doing a great job. I give them
yeah,
applause, because we, on the other hand, we are not doing a great job, because whenever, every single time I see these things.
Yeah.
I feel like the goal
mhm,
is for monetary gain. And then for me, I don't want monetary gain. If they give me money to fix my pool,
mhm,
the next time it explodes, something else could happen. And I gotta fix it again and get another claim. That's,
right,
I think awareness and letting everybody know, hey, we have a goal to increase the percentage of people reporting blasts by
right,
50%.
right,
I think that's a better goal.
right.
I don't know, maybe you could pass that down.
Well, the thing is that it
Conversation.
has to have the mining lobby is so massive that for Tom to get backing from the mining lobby with this bill was a big hurdle to get over, and he was able to get that. But the second it got to, because the speaker decides what bills can go through and which ones don't.
And
Even if
money's
it's
gonna
committee-
be like, I would put my hand up too, I'd be like, no.
But even if it's committee, so the moment that the state representatives introduce a bill, the speaker says yes or no, then it goes through 3 committees, depending on what the bill is for. Once it goes through the committees, then it goes to the House floor for a vote and a second vote. So it's a arduous, exactly, it's an arduous process. But the moment that the speaker says no, the rest of the course goes through. Which is kind of a shame to hear, because the speaker is from South Florida. He is a Miami-Dade representative. But he did say that it's, and what he told me that night is that he thought it was a bill for eliminating blasting, and I told him no. We understand that 92% of the supply, like I said earlier, of limestone for the entire country comes from Florida. I studied that in college, I know that. But we're wanting financial restitution for our residents to be able to repair their homes, because they keep coming out of their pockets, which is a purpose of 303. That was in the conversation. He told me to follow up with Tom. Tom followed up with him, and Tom told me that it didn't go anywhere. So that's why at this point, our legal team is proceeding with the next step, which is legal action. Take it out of the hands of the legislative branch and put it in the hands of the judicial.
And has like these type of things gonna happen in other counties, or
I
in Florida?
that I do not.
Get to see like the outcome, oh, this other county was up and coming.
With regards to.
Like, has this happened in other counties in Florida, like where, or in the United States, where like, hey,
It's
That's
starting
actually,
to happen.
in Orange County, Orlando, Orlando sued the mining industry. That they were, I don't know the whole details of it, but from what I gathered, they're going through the same thing we did, and they put a stop to it.
Now, there is a temporary way of stopping mining. If veterans with PTSD, if the mining effects is having an effect on their health, mining is ceased for a period of 30 days. But it has to be proven that a veteran with PTSD was affected because of the blast.
a veteran PTSD
You have-
affected.
Do you have a rating where PTSD?
Yeah, yeah. But to me, that's something
But
that
it's
like,
also for a window of 30 days.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I guess I'll do that every time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Where did you read that?
Also,
Something? Wow, that's crazy.
politics,
I'll
actually.
have to look at that one. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, so things are happening.
Wow.
Just we need to make sure that the appropriations. are approved.
That's all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Felicia, Alvarado?
The comment, it's just basically they're focusing on the budget and the tax package, and there's no.
Yes.
And I come to an agreement, and that's their main thing this year. There's gonna be a lot of bills, not just ours. That are probably gonna die in not fast, but
Mhm.
it's unfortunate, but
Just to tell you, out of 350 bills, only 56 have passed. That's all. That's shameful.
To share, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
To share with you that, from the Tom Fabricio gave me a call as well, just before the meeting.
that's all.
To advise that there's a huge disparage now that's happening between the Senate and the House of Representatives. And they're really fighting amongst each other, and nothing is getting through, zero. the bills aren't parallel for whatever reason. So if you write A, they'll write C. They don't continue with the A, so that they're joined in arms. So it's a major problem that it's a disconnect, I'll call it, in Tallahassee that's happening. And the other thing is, as Rudy's saying, the financial, the budget doesn't exist. So they're fighting to redo the budget. So there's a lot of turmoil going on in Tallahassee, and
And we have to have a budget. Florida
Yeah.
is, we have to have a budget. It's a
but
balanced
because of that,
budget.
there's no bills going through, period.
I'm done. Out of 350, only 56 have passed.
Yeah.
So, done. And when the last week,
Very nice.
done. Committee's over.
Such a hundred, a lot of.
He had told me 11. Not even
Up to,
anyway.
up to now. 56 have finally passed.
Great.
It was a big push last week. To get something done. But I had a shame of 11 only. Yeah. Anything else? Public comments? Anybody else?
Just want to continue really quickly. I don't have anything
Go ahead,
against
go ahead.
blasting.
No,
Unfortunately, but
we just.
I have something that helps with humans.
Right?
This is the rat class. Hopefully you guys, in the committees received the email for it. It's coming up, it's gonna be May 27th through the 29th. It's a free, women's self-defense course run by the Citizens Crime Watch. And everybody that goes to the class has not only positive things to say about it. It's free. It's for those 3 days, 3 hours. Just commit to those 3 hours every day. It's like a long scale class, but bunched up into one 3-day course. And at the end, you get to beat up on a person.
I took the class, take the class.
You took that?
There we go, there we go.
She broke the clavicle in the nose of the guy that was.
So we can vote.
I'm very stressed.
So it's very good. It relieves stress, it relieves everything.
They say yes. The guys that get beat up don't like it too much, but they're wearing suits.
Maybe-
Are the officers at the opposite side of the,
Yeah, yeah.
they are?
Yeah.
Maybe we should go.
Maybe we should give.
Only for women.
Actually, I was really thinking,
I'm sorry.
maybe.
Is it at Mary Collins?
It's gonna be at,
No, the
Robert
other
Holmes.
one. No, the other one.
Robert Holmes.
Maybe we should give a free class to Mary so she could, beat up.
Take it out.
Take it out on the minors.
You can go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else?
Anything else?
I'll mute one more time just in case before we close it off. We're gonna unmute
Thank
before
you,
we
guys.
close public comments. We have done reconsults if they have anything. Okay, we're gonna close public comments. Next item on the agenda is adoption of minutes, February 24th, regular meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. I move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're also gonna see, the March 24th. I know there was no quorum, but there are minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're gonna go to old business and some of these items, Chair, we will have to remove them from the following agenda because they've been on for 6 months.
Yeah, and so forth.
It's your-
Miami Lakes Chamber, I'll think that'll probably be for next month. Miami Lakes Chamber has been around. They have different locations as to where to do their podcast. It used to be here, it used to be in where the mayor was, but with all the change in mayors and everything else. They've tried Ana Maria Mendez and have tried some other places, and now it's actually
Projected for May or June.
June. We're
Thank
trying to
you.
get it for June. We're waiting to see if finally, Tallahassee was over and session was over and everything. So it could be June, July.
Okay, June.
Yeah. Good going. Then, well, on the Tallahassee trip, I think we got a great update from, Alex Sanchez, Councilman Sanchez. Councilman Herzberg, I think, maybe, who else was it? No, I think that was pretty much it, and, other people that went. And myself, was great, Dave was great, a lot of meetings, a lot of talk with different people. But you're right, Alex, I was a little bit disgusted with the whole thing. But anyway, that's politics and the nature of politics. But it is how it is. And we have to take some other measures. Just how it is. Next on the agenda is marketing update. I don't know if there's anything. Maybe that's probably the best thing, our awareness with homeowners and people like Mary here that come out finally and say, hey, we've had enough of it. So I don't know if we've had any updates on for the homeowners and homeowners associations and stuff, so.
I don't necessarily have an update about that, but I do want to talk about marketing for a second in general because I love these reports, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're broken down by the areas, and then now that it's comparing the amount of blasts received for a period of time. It's important to highlight that if you guys go to the last page, you can see the significant decrease in reports from
Are we gonna get one?
Did you get the whole?
He's not.
So if you refer to the last page, it does a big summary, obviously take your time to review the other pages, but the last page compares Miami Lakes, Miami, Doral, Medley, and Homestead. And if you just look at the total number to the right, it shows you how many more people complain in Miami Lakes versus any other area, right? But the big negative to highlight here is that you can see the large decrease over time in how people are reporting. In 2023, most people work from home still because of COVID. 24, there was a slight increase, but if you look at 25, we're almost halfway through the year, or very close to halfway through the year. And our number based on what we see there, it looks to be very small. Regardless of the decisions that the town makes and how we handle things moving forward, right? The larger the numbers are and the more aware the community is in how to report these issues, the more successful, the more ammo the town will have when you confront the situation. And I'm not just referring to the town, but also our state reps and every single person that's lobbying to help us with this cause will have actual metrics and actual data that stands behind them. How many times do we have one random homeowner that complains and then we can't utilize it further, right? I guess from the different things I've heard today, and I'm gonna look at your way, right? Because Stephen is online, so you can't look back at me.
Stephen, you're on notice.
I get that right now, obviously blasting, I don't want to say doesn't take priority, but it's not taking precedence because there's other issues that are not more important, but that are priority right now, okay?
What do you mean?
There's other issues that are also, you guys are also discussing with Tallahassee and.
Well, like I mentioned before, Tom's number one thing on his board is blasting. That is his number one. Everything else is subsequent to that. But because we can't ruffle feathers in an intense manner right now because of the appropriations that are coming from our legislative level. Once that settles down, we're able to proceed June, July with going the judicial route.
Okay,
Going through the
so I
court
guess what I'm
system.
trying to say is, right now, we're in a mini hiatus, right?
Kind of.
I think we should take advantage of the hiatus.
Yeah.
To compile as much data as we can.
Yeah.
So that when we reconvene from this hiatus,
Right.
you guys come back stronger to go after the cause,
If I
right?
can make a suggestion.
Hmm.
The Speaker of the House for this year is gonna be the same Speaker of the House next year. The power of email is very strong. We speak, but obviously they see 7 faces, not
Mhm.
thousands of faces. They don't see the thousands of faces behind us that we represent.
Right,
So if that, literally that one person was the one that shot everything down. It just took one person out of extremely powerful. Okay. The power of email works a lot. So besides that, this is outstanding. But the power of email, look at the numbers, just send an email, look at the numbers of this report. If we send it out to all the residents in town, not just here, Miramar, Hialeah Gardens, Hialeah, Meadow, Doral, everybody in fact that's affected.
If I may,
Yeah.
the numbers of complaints as they're diminishing, I receive that as a failure on our part.
I think it's more so residents that are just giving up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or also remember that for a long time in 23, people were working from home.
Right, no,
So
absolutely.
they felt it a lot more.
Right.
Now there's a bigger migration going back to the office.
I put a
The
post
hybrid
out.
model is starting to
Right.
disappear.
I put a post out yesterday
Right,
and there's over 2,000 hits on Nextdoor alone, which has you could read the stats of it.
right.
And there's been a lot of feedback already.
Okay.
I was very active in posting
Yeah.
and divulging information and sharing information. And for one reason or another, I hadn't. So I feel personally to blame. I'll take blame. I think it should be shared amongst all of us, but that's another story. That we need to do better in getting the word out, which is what you're
So
saying.
I guess that's where I was alluding to, right?
Yeah.
Is while we're at this hiatus, our focus should be to increase awareness, increase the daily reports, because now the numbers work towards disadvantage. People are not working from home as often. The county employees that were working from home, you know, the starting April 15th, they all went back to the offices, no matter what, whether they were hybrid, remote, whatever, they all went back. So if before we were at this threshold of reports because people were at home more, now it's gonna be harder to get that consistent reporting. And the people who are home are usually retired, you know, may not be as tech savvy. And we need to find a way that's more inclusive of all these audiences to increase how many people are reporting on a daily basis. And in addition to that goal, we also need to incorporate sending emails.
Let me make a small point. Raise your hand if you have the Miami Lakes Connect app. Miami Lakes has an app called Lakes Connect. You can report potholes, falling trees, anything. We're adding more features to it. Like I have a very big volunteer initiative that's being put on there. We can add an icon on there for report blasting.
Oh, yeah.
Report blasting, and you can put what time, what day, you know,
Unfortunately,
What-
only for Miami Lakes residents.
it is, but
We don't live in Miami Lakes.
doesn't matter, you can still report it.
Um,
Just because you don't have Miami Lakes doesn't
Yeah.
mean,
As long as you have the app.
download the
I
app.
thought the app, looking at your address, yeah,
No, it doesn't. At least for that aspect, we don't have to do it
okay.
because it's still blasting. Right? I mean, let me take a look at the app. I don't believe it
Now, to the flip
requires.
side, the complaint will not go to, not be an official complaint though.
No, because the link would be to where this report goes.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
we'll be to the
using a
official.
shortcut.
It'll be to this.
Yeah.
It'll just be a shortcut, it'll be a
But
hyperlink.
this- I mean, if I may, this report isn't a town report, so thi-
How are people reporting to this?
that's what I'm saying, that is something he compiled.
This is the state complaint.
So-
It's in the state.
These are the state complaints
From the state too.
Yeah.
from the clearinghouse, from the
Pilot
clearinghouse.
program.
Okay,
Yeah,
but there's a link to a
populated.
state website.
Yeah.
You can add that link to the state website on the app.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at the app, there's a plus sign on the bottom, and it has a whole list of different things that you can do on the app.
Or you can send you can send blast email,
No, not blast emails. So
like
when you
notification
click,
emails to everybody.
it'll pop up a browser to the website that contains the
everybody
source-
knows.
the data point for this.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really
So
good.
we're trying to, there's a big marketing campaign that's coming up. At the last meeting, we added some new features. So once those are added, we're gonna be pushing a very big marketing campaign to get as many residents as possible to
And
use
your
the app.
opinion of sharing the speaker's email, so people email him directly.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have any with me, I'm sorry.
But if you go, this is the Miami Lakes Connect app. Okay. So since the birth of this app, it's fixed 10,907 issues. Issues can be broken sidewalks, potholes, garbage on a swale, anything like that.
That's what you want, for Miami.
Yeah.
From Miami Lakes, exactly. So if you click on the bottom, plus it says new request, we can add one for blasting.
Yeah, can I work with like what team is working, like the marketing team that I own, like how can I assist?
Well, what we would have to do as a council is put in an NBI, a new business item, to have the blasting link added to the app. Once it gets approved, it goes to IT adds to the app.
Okay, so that, I wanna say, solves a part of our issue, right?
Right.
Because when you guys do the marketing campaign for Miami Lakes residents to download the app, one of the push points can be report blasts.
Right.
Right? I love this idea. Could we piggyback, just like you guys are advertising the app so that more residents use it in general? Could we piggyback off of the marketing department's efforts to also promote people reporting in general, whether it's through the app or not?
We can, I mean, right now, through marketing, and I can attest to this, we pretty much every other day are putting on our social media platforms, all of us, events that are coming up, you know, everything that's going on around town. And we, not because the town does it, we get tagged on and we also put them out. So if there's a marketing campaign that's saying report your blast here, then we are gonna push that through too.
So is that something that we can do like on a consistent, regular basis, like once a week? Obviously, once a day might be too much, but
Yes,
Once
you
a
don't wanna
week.
overdo it because then you turn
Right.
people off.
right.
So for that same reason, I'm not gonna confirm how often it will be, because I think that that's best left to the communications team that handles that specifically when it comes to social media and marketing.
Yeah.
What I can mention to them is they
Maybe
wanna
that-
make sure that the blasting efforts are acknowledged as part of whatever marketing efforts go out.
Yeah.
For example, I know we have like a monthly newsletter that goes out. I think that, I don't know if it's there or not already, but I can ask them to make sure that the app feature is already being featured as part of that news. And that's just an additional avenue.
Francesca, I have a question.
I don't know, but somebody say me that in Miami Lakes, two lawyers win the case.
They don't?
Is true or no?
No.
No?
Private lawyers, you mean, private attorneys? Entonces
Or this is like-
eran abogados privados, ¿sí? Personas, finalmente.
No, hicieron un grupo.
Recientemente,
Many
o hace tiempo.
peoples. El último hace como 5 años, 4 o 5 años,
Busy,
4 or 5 years.
busy, that is all. ¿En qué momentos?
Councilman Hertzberg is advising that the notification on the app is there already.
For blasting?
Yeah, it's just the problem is people don't use it.
When I
Hace
called the
tiempo.
lawyer,
Where?
it say me.
Oh, it is, right on the homepage, report blasting.
Yes,
It is there. He's right.
Sure. Let me see what else.
Okay, so does.
Go ahead, go ahead. Well, finish your marketing. Yeah, no, finish marketing.
Need
Yeah.
to come up with a game plan on how we're gonna move forward so that we can increase that number. Like, I think that out of everything I'm looking on the agenda, in my opinion, that should be ranked as one of the most important items, right? Because without complaints.
You wanna add this to the next
Mr.
agenda?
Chairman, I have a question for Francesca.
Sure.
How is reporting in any way relevant to getting our people compensated?
Okay, well, if nobody complains, then how is it a legitimate issue? How do we prove to them that it's a legitimate issue? If there is no complaints?
Where does it ever say that we have to prove anything? This board doesn't have to prove anything.
No, that is
Or
correct.
or am I mistaken? Maybe I misread. But you just said that we had to prove it. You said we had to prove, what do we have to prove? That people are getting their
First of all,
homes, their properties damaged?
if I may, compensation is not the goal of this committee. We are not to be getting, we're not.
I didn't say compensation, we said solution, the
You said
solution.
compensation.
How is this relevant to the solution?
So you said compensation. We're not gonna get compensation for
Okay.
residents. The relevance of the solution is.
You are correct.
The
And-
relevance of
and-
the solution is that we need to develop a case and to be able to create enough movement where we can find a resolution of sort that to coexist with this entity, with this industry. Statistical data is no joke. And what the spreadsheet is showing is statistical data. This isn't made up. This isn't a what do you call it? You know, a fairy tale of complaint of somebody, of a housewife sitting in her drinking coffee in their living room. This is real stuff. And the damages, as this young lady is showing, is real. We need hardcore evidence to prove the case. If we continue proving the case, then it becomes easier.
So this board was created to prove a case.
This board is created to advise the council,
As to what?
to find an equitable solution
To find an equitable
to
solution.
this problem.
Okay. How many times do we have to go over the fact that the problem is not blasting? That the problem is, as you well stated a few months ago to me, that we needed to restore the constitutional rights of plaintiffs to sue for damages in circuit court. That constitutional right, as you well pointed out, is violated by a statute, which is the statute that specifically protects blasting damagers from liability for their damages. How are we moving to restore that constitutional right, which you recognize is the problem, by reporting, by statistics,
By having individuals like this.
by having individuals like this
Yeah.
come in
Report it
and
and come
spend
in.
her time
Yes, and tell us.
thinking that she's doing
Yes.
something useful,
Which
and we're
is-
taking her
which
for a
which
ride.
is. Yes, I give her a lot of credit for
Yeah,
coming here.
She has a lot of credit
Well,
I give her
that's what we
credit
have to
too.
see. That's what we have to see.
for coming over here and basically wasting your time. Because that's what we have to this
We have to
point.
do that. We have to get them.
You know, we hoodwinked her. We've given her a false hope.
No, there's no
That's
false
not
hope.
true.
There,
Look,
anytime
Listen, she's been doing it since '98.
Yeah. she's gonna die before this
Many
happens.
have, many have.
Okay, and many already have.
Many already
That's
have.
giving people a
Of course.
false hope. And that, in my opinion, is criminal. That's unethical. It's unethical. It's immoral. It's wrong.
Yeah, that's a lot of error. How is it done?
How is it done?
Yeah.
Did you not hear that I just said that you have to restore the constitutional right of plaintiffs to be able to sue for damages in circuit court? That constitutional right is being deprived, is being violated?
Okay, that's beyond our scope. What you're stating right now is.
No,
beyond our scope.
no, that is not beyond our scope. What is beyond our scope is to sue in court.
Allow you. The committee. Since its inception, every committee, all 12 that we have in Miami Lakes have a mission and vision statement. The mission statement that was agreed upon by a committee, not by a single individual, not by two individuals, not by three, by a committee, states the Blasting Advisory Board was established to discuss and provide the town council with recommendations and possible solutions to ease the effects of rock mine blasting.
I know.
That isn't by one person or two or three. It was a committee decision. If you'd like to see a different mission or vision statement that
No,
I propose,
I know.
then I propose that you bring that to the board, that you put that on the agenda and put it to a vote. But the way that it stands right now, it's done.
Councilman
Through the
Steve
chair,
Hertzberg.
council member Eladio, we do have Robert Rules of Orders. There is a limitation on speaking. I'd like, to call the question and move on to the next item.
I'd like to point out that
It's an
Councilman
important
Steve
item, it's an
Hertzberg
important item, and I think you should.
presented the council last
Discuss.
year. Councilman Hertzberg presented the council last year a report. I believe it was, I don't know, in June, would it have been in June?
June of last year.
Yeah, June of last year. He presented it, and in that report, he stated clearly that there is a constitutional problem here that is preventing the citizens, the residents of Miami Lakes, as well as other communities, from being able to redress their damages in circuit court
Okay.
because of this statute.
Okay, Eladio, through the chair.
That's being addressed. That's being-
Eladio, through the chair, as you know, we all attended a sunshine meeting.
Yeah.
This subject will be addressed in June, July. And it is exactly what Councilmember Hertzberg has spoken about. It's a discussion. I think we've had enough of this discussion. If we can move forward and follow the sunshine rules, I would appreciate it. Through the chair.
And I'll finish. What you're saying.
Can you close?
Sure, what
Sure.
we're saying is that your issue is being addressed. It is being addressed. And the councilman, I think they alluded to that already tonight,
Yes.
and that's being addressed.
And if the issue is
Because-
being addressed, statistics will not play an issue here.
I'm not
The Florida Constitution will.
I'm not the attorney for that. I don't, that's, you know, I'm an attorney myself, but I'm not, and where I.
The number of people that file reports is irrelevant.
For me, evidence is very important, but anyway, moving to that, I don't think I have anything, I don't think.
The other item is the lobbying efforts on the
Yeah,
oath.
that's pretty
And I'm
much,
So
assuming
just to
that
go back,
Go
we're
ahead.
not gonna do any more, because.
we're gonna bring
he
it back on the
interrupted
next
me and
agenda.
Okay,
well,
so we're not,
finish your part. We didn't.
We did
finish.
finish. our
We
part.
did? Oh,
Yes,
I
we're
missed
gonna
that.
put it on the next agenda and she'll have time to look at the connect and speak with with the lady.
Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that what you want?
Actually have a separate line item just for Francesca.
Right, okay.
look,
Right.
that's entirely fine, we can table it until May. I just wanted to take advantage of the time left until the next meeting, if you guys wanna table the topic to the next, I'm perfectly fine with that.
But I think
Let's
it'd be
take it
fair,
over.
not to waste time or not to lose time.
Doesn't take it to a vote. yeah.
That was my opinion, but it
Alright.
seems like, take it to a vote, if you guys wanna table it to the next meeting, I respect that.
Someone
Well,
should put more,
I think,
put forward a motion, so we all know.
right, but
we're
I
on the
think
same-
tabling it, is not the right, it's not a global table.
It's
That's
not the
okay.
right word.
It's not the right word. I don't know what the word is.
Postpone, is that what you're saying?
But I think we should discuss it further at the next meeting, but I think we should vote to have you begin to prepare a package to discuss and, you know, present as you've done in the past. I will put that motion in there.
That motion. I second it.
All right.
Can that
Does
include
everybody-
can that include a summary of, a survey? Or like a survey of like I know we had a workshop, right? But we didn't have a survey, cause I don't know, like if anybody went or their email. But we do have
What do you mean by survey?
like a survey, you know, right now we're discussing about what our goal is with the city. Or how our commissioners are presenting their case to the state. And I think it's very important to have a survey as far as like who we're working for. Right, people
Like, to
of
see
Miami
who-
Lakes.
what type of people attended the
Right.
meeting?
Well, we have about 294 people from Miami Lakes residents
Mhm.
that have already filed a complaint on the website. And that's not a big number. But those are people already been affected and the state has found their blast that was caused by the mine company. Now, it wasn't like a shake nearby or anything else. It was proven. They assigned it. So in my head, if we can get a survey on those 294 residents, like what you would like to do? You know, do you want to file for legal action? Do you want to go for financial gain? Do you want to just get them to reduce the numbers? Option 1, 2, or 3, which one do you want?
I don't think we would get proper answers.
No?
No, I think everybody will be wanting retribution for their damages. And
But as priority, people can just.
no, they want retribution without having the realize the impacts of lawsuits. They just want to get paid, and it's not gonna work like that.
I
And it's- so
understand
they're
what he's trying
being
to
a
say.
dangerous quagmire.
So. To efficiently come up with a better opinion, next steps, or recommendation. He's suggesting that we survey these 294 people to get their opinion on how they would most prefer the issue be remedied. I think I understand what you're saying, right? I understand your point too, that everyone's gonna go after the money, because
Yeah,
that's
they're not-
obviously that's.
You're asking the
a
wrong
thing.
people.
Right,
Yeah.
But I feel like if we consolidate everything we're saying, it's all to ultimately increase awareness that there is a method, a proper method to complain. And if we increase the number of complaints received, eventually it can be used as a resource for whatever the next steps are. Whether they pursue legal action, whether they, or even in lobbying efforts, you know, it can be used in a lot of different ways. The data can be illustrated amongst the community to show the importance of it. And then it can also be used when they do their things in Tallahassee, right? So next time, I'll coordinate with the marketing team and I'll coordinate with Alex too, if you don't mind.
Can,
And then we can come up with a little mini campaign.
can we get images of this? I'd like to post it.
Yeah, I'll send you a PDF.
I'll share the
I'll-
PDF.
I'll send you an updated one.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
Send that. Yeah.
Can you send images, not just PDF,
like, what do you mean?
like a JPEG, PDFs don't get posted, cleanly.
Oh, like, I'll take a screenshot.
Well,
they
just
just turn
turn
it into
sheet,
JPEG.
like, instead of a PDF, make a JPEG.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that. I'll send it to you as a JPEG.
Yeah.
You'll send this out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like, I am probably the number one complainer. In all of Florida. All of Miami, just so you know. You like, so like, I understand, the concern more than anybody else. I would say, I am freely saying that because I looked at the data and I put like, who's the person that complains the most, and my name came up and I double checked it and triple checked it. So like, I feel like, that it's very important for us to at least document. Because even if the state doesn't win today, tomorrow I can fight, and at least I have the data to fight, and I don't have to depend on Miami Lakes. I don't have to depend on you. I don't have to depend on the state. You know, I can like, like the lady said, oh, somebody won a case, and everybody like, what, really? You know, maybe that could be me, or that maybe that can be somebody else. You know, but we won't do that unless we have data.
thank you, Mr. Earl.
How about the week?
You don't need any data to take the court to show a court of law that our constitutional rights are violated by a state statute.
There's other things they violate, just like for your own personal thing, you know, like
See what I'm
traffic.
saying?
There's traffic that gets violated all the time in front of my house.
But I
Right
don't think
now
you
there's-
understand that this is statute is standing in the way of people being able to redress.
Yeah, but it's like, I think like that's like if we get to a bigger group, like not in Miami Lakes, but in Dade County, and then Dade County can push it to like the state, I think we'll be we're a bigger shark, or a bigger whale.
And
Yeah, but right now we're
unless the
still in
law-
Miami Lakes.
there's
Right now we're in
only
Miami
two-
Lakes.
There's only two,
But right now you're speaking your point at Miami Lakes, not at Miami-Dade County. So it's like, it's different.
I'm speaking in reference to the rights of all.
Right, but
ALL,
it's still,
all
it's,
Florida
but
citizens.
it's still in Miami Lakes level.
For you guys.
Like we're
All
small.
Florida citizens.
We're small.
This state
We have
statute-
to talk more in the county, like we're the county, let's talk there. Because here, we're only gonna solve small
But-
problems.
You don't realize that we have a constitutional problem, not a statutory problem, not a blasting problem.
And I just think that it's not their priority.
Who's
Because
not-
like,
who's
when
there?
they're putting bills
Who's
for
there?
financial gain,
Let me know.
when they're putting bills for financial gain, instead of bills for, what did you say? Like liability? Like, is different. Like their bill should be for liability. Forget about money, just
But
liability.
who's they? What are you referring to?
The state,
The state?
yeah, when we put things in the state, in the
I'm
house,
saying nothing. about
Like,
you.
they have to be,
The legislator, the legislature is not gonna solve the problem.
right, but neither of us. Like, we have to be
No, a
bigger,
court is the only one that can solve the
like
problem.
bigger than us.
Court, only one. So, and in order for a judge to solve it, you have to take it to court.
Okay, let me just,
Not-
stop it. There's a good point there,
Take it to court.
and everything else, but
That's what our study, as Councilman Steve Hirschberg last year stated, pointed that out.
Yeah, I hope I can take it to court, but,
The study said it.
and I'm gonna use this data to take it to court.
Wednesday.
Like, whenever somebody takes it to court, I'm not gonna take it to
Oh,
court.
you don't need that data.
Whenever somebody takes it to court, I get.
Gentlemen, I think this is for a constitution for all.
Okay, I have an open discussion for the next meeting, who could be here?
With the last issue was the lobbying efforts, and
Right.
that will be discussed next
That'll
year
be
when
discussed
we
next-
start the
yeah,
next fiscal year.
Yeah.
You
We
still
discussed
have-
it pretty much.
Chair, you still have new business, and that was no progress this year.
No progress for the.
And the open discussion is the rescheduling of the May 26th meeting.
May 26th, because May 26th is Memorial Day, so. Then they would have a one with 27th or 28th.
No, the 27th is not. gonna work.
27th, not
It's
gonna work.
either the 28th or the 29th.
I can do the 20.
Steven Herzberg is requesting to be let back in,
Unmuted.
the open public.
Okay.
So it's Thursday, May 29th is the date that I will.
Thursday, is that okay for everybody?
I'm okay with that. What time?
The Thursday at 7 PM is available.
Thursday,
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 7 p.m.
29th at 7 PM is available. Just let me know. and I'll
I'm sorry,
then I'll-
May.
I'm okay with it.
May 29th,
May 29th,
Thursday,
Thursday.
Okay.
At 7.
7 PM.
So change it? Official?
Yeah.
It's
okay,
official.
okay, yeah, it's okay. Steven,
He's back.
see you guys on. That's.
Yeah,
It's an open discussion anyway, so let's finish it up with Councilman
Hi.
Steve.
Hi, you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I guess I was listening in the car, just wanted to chime in because I was hearing a discussion about data and its usefulness or not. I don't know how behind I was, but you know, I agree that the data is actually important. I want you guys to understand that part of the analysis on any due process claim on the Constitution is whether or not there's a public need or not. And I think showing that there's reports, but then showing that there's, you know, limited actual filings is important. So data can be a tool that we're going to use. And it's primarily a potential legal argument. And again, this is if there was a direction to go that way, and then it has to be voted by the council, it's also for the town and the town's damages, right? We're not representing other people. The result could affect other people, but I also want to make sure that that part is clear as well. So I think getting the word out, getting more data, regardless of what route we go, and getting the complaints out is important work that you guys can focus on.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilman.
Is there anything else?
A discussion?
Any discussion for anybody?
Please
Anybody?
note that the next meeting is May Thursday, the 29th at 7 AM. I make a motion to, 7 PM. I
7
make a
PM.
motion to adjourn at 8:09. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Motion by